What if the most classified program in modern history wasn't about weapons or satellites or surveillance? What if it was about time? The story begins in the late 1960s at the rumored S4 facility near Area 51. According to long circulating claims, a DARPA-backed team working from theories attributed to Nikola Tesla stumbled onto something that defied everything we think we know about physics: informational retrocausality. Data, appearing before the experiment creating it even began. Information flowing backward. If true, it meant one thing: the future could be observed. Project Looking Glass was born. This wasn't about predicting trends, it was about mapping probabilities. The operators reportedly didn't see the future. They saw branching timelines, shifting clouds of outcomes, wars that might happen, markets that might crash, technologies that would dominate, disasters that could be prevented before the public ever knew they were possible. The implications? Staggering. If you could see the probable result of a battle before it was fought, the impact of a policy before it was signed, the outcome of a financial system before it collapsed, you wouldn't just respond to history, you would steer it. According to the claims, nuclear conflicts, global crises, even catastrophic events were quietly avoided because someone, somewhere, saw them coming. But then something changed. As they pushed further into the future, the branching probabilities began collapsing. No matter what variables were adjusted in the present, all timelines converged toward a single bottleneck, a fixed point around 2012. Beyond that point, a wall. No visibility, no branching, no alternate outcomes. One unmovable convergence. Theories inside the program reportedly ranged from technological singularity to unstoppable global upheaval to something far beyond physics, the literal fulfillment of biblical prophecy. And here's the twist that makes this story so provocative. The most powerful predictive technology ever allegedly created didn't prove human control. It proved human limitation. If the convergence was real, history wasn't a playground of probabilities. It was a track. And that track led somewhere unchangeable. According to the narrative, Project Looking Glass was dismantled, not because it failed, but because its final report made control irrelevant. The mission shifted from steering events to preparing for them. A new group allegedly formed, the Ephesians Committee, tasked not with managing probabilities, but with bracing for events described in the book of Revelation: the Great Tribulation, Jacob's trouble, prophecy. Now pause. Fast forward to February 2026. While the country is still drawing battle lines, red versus blue, left versus right, culture wars, economic wars, information wars, George Magazine introduces this possibility to its readers. Why? Why pivot towards scripture and biblical truth while everyone else is stuck screaming about the next election cycle? Maybe because if the story, even partially, points towards something larger than politics, then politics isn't the real battlefield. Maybe the real divide isn't red versus blue. Maybe it's truth versus deception. Maybe it's spiritual. So the question becomes, what does George know with the tools they've been given? Are they simply reporting rumors? Or are they positioned in conversations and information streams most journalists never touch? Are they inside circles where long horizon thinking happens, far ahead of daily headlines? You don't have to take anyone's word for it. Listen carefully. Review their channels. Watch the patterns. While others fight over temporary power, George is increasingly pointing readers toward Scripture. If history is moving toward a convergence point, if technology itself once hinted at prophecy, then focusing only on politics would be the distraction. And here's the uncomfortable thought: what if the greatest strategic advantage in 2026 isn't knowing who wins the next election, but knowing where history ultimately ends? Decide for yourself.